And on the other, now the situation in Kerala is that there are three fronts which have been working for the vested interests. The investigation against gold smuggling didn't reach anywhere. Number two is that the drastic failure. I have been fighting against ills in not only the CPM.
What is your strength and weakness of your competitors like Arif and KC Venugopal and all? Welcome to the Pratipaksham YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the candidatureship of Sri KM Shajahan. He is with us, so let us ask questions. Sir, you had declared the candidatureship of coming Lok Sabha elections in the Alapi Lok Sabha Mandalam. So, what is your intentions? Why you are planning to contest in an election in this time?
See, Mr. Ritesh, first of all, I would like to tell you that I have decided to seriously contest this election from Alapi. Because some of my friends had asked me whether I am serious about the matter. So to begin with, I would like to state unambiguously that I have taken this contest from Alapi as a very serious matter, and I am going to very seriously approach the election. See, as far as I am concerned, I have been in the political sphere for the last nearly 2.5 decades. And for those 2.5 decades, I have been unrelentingly and uncompromisingly fighting against all ills prevailing in the society. I have been fighting against corruption in the society, against environmental degradation, encroachment. I have been fighting against sexual harassment against women, police atrocities, against human rights violations, etc. for the last 2.5 decades. Sri Ritesh, I have now come to a situation wherein I feel it is very imperative to take my struggle to another level. And that another level, I would like to, I would mean to say that it has to be conducted in an election. See, when you say that, you might ask me why I have decided to contest an election.
Yeah, definitely.
You can ask me why, Shajahan, you could have continued doing videos against all ills in the society. Why do you have to contest in an election? To take the messages to the people. Now, my answer to that question is that the three fronts in Kerala. You know, there are three fronts in Kerala. One is the LDF, one is the UDF, and the other is the...
They are saying that because they are the enemies, biggest enemies each other. But you are saying that because they are the friends.
Yes. No, I'm going to give you the answer details. See, we know during the last 2-3 decades, there has been two fronts in Kerala. And for the last, I think, 1 decade, there has been one more front called the NDA, led by the BJP. Now, outwardly, these three fronts are fighting against each other. But I would like to tell the people that it is only outwardly that they have been fighting against each other. In effect, all the three fronts are kind of working together, and they are engaging themselves in a friendly contest against each other to hoodwink the people of Kerala. My finding is that these three fronts are working for one and the same vested interest in Kerala, and it is the vested interest which is controlling these three fronts in Kerala. You see, on the one hand, you have a ruthless, totally corrupt, totally degenerated, rotten LDF ruling the state. Unfortunately, on the other hand, you have a totally ineffective opposition in the state. which has not been able to fight this rotten, ruthless state for the last 2.5 years. You look at the way the opposition has been fighting the ruling front. They have not been able to mobilize people against the anti-people policies of the government. They have not been able to fight in the courts against the policies of the government, and they have been totally ineffective. On the other hand, you find that the BJP-led NDA, the one and the only one objective which has been guiding them is to somehow or other keep the rotten LDF led by Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan in power. So, what I will be trying to tell the people of Kerala during my election campaign is that in Kerala we have three fronts which have been working in tandem to serve the interests of the vested interests. And on the other, now the situation in Kerala is that there are three fronts which have been working for the vested interests as one unit. On the other hand, you have the hapless people for whom there has been no political front to take up their cause.
Take up their genuine reasonable cost.
Yeah, their reasonable cause. For example, corruption is at its peak in Kerala. Encroachment on the environment is at its peak in Kerala. Police atrocities, sexual harassment against women, it is all at its peak in Kerala. On the other hand, burning issues like price rise, unemployment is also at its peak. But unfortunately, you find that there is no political entity to take up the fight for the people and to come up with a fight against the rotten state. Now, like what I said, you have these three fronts who serve the interests of the who connive with the vested interests, and on the other hand, you have the people who doesn't have a force to take their cause further. Now, I place myself with the people. My fight in this election will be with the people and against these three fronts which have been trying to serve the interests of the who have been trying to serve the interests of the vested interests. So I have placed myself in this election with the people who doesn't have anybody to fight against them.
See, definitely you had told us pretty clearly that because there is their friends and their enmity in front of the public is a hypocrisy. But can you tell me an example where it is has been proven in Kerala? Because basically we know that in SFIO is inquiring about the Veena Vijayan's company, and so many things are happening. Even right now our opposition parties are doing a strike against the that death, in that fortunate death. All these things are happening. So how do you convince the people by saying that because they are close friends and their enmity in the public is a great hypocrisy which they are showing?
See, Ritesh, the most important aspect is with regard to the approach of the central government towards the ill deeds of the state government. See, Ritesh, I hope you would remember that this gold smuggling case emerged in the year 2020 when around 30 kilograms of gold was confiscated.
It was not a mere gold smuggling case. It was a gold smuggling through the green channel and through the basically I couldn't get that word. Basically through the diplomatic channel. Diplomatic channel. That's the reason.
Now, as we said, the gold smuggling case emerged in 2020. Now, after that, the life mission case came up. And
somewhat it was proved also. In the life mission case, the bribe was handed over to the certain people. It was proved, and still the action was not taken.
Yes. And thirdly, we know around a few months back, the investigation of the serious fraud investigation office against the Chief Minister's daughter also came up. Now look at what is the status of these investigations. The investigation against gold smuggling didn't reach anywhere. And I can tell you for sure that there has been at least a dozen statements of the accused against directly or indirectly pointing towards the Chief Minister. And in the Life Mission case, as you said, also there were a lot of statements. And thirdly, and most importantly, the investigation with regard to the SFIO against the Chief Minister's daughter, it were not allegations, it was findings of a quasi-judicial body, the Income Tax Interim Settlement Board. They had found that the Chief Minister's daughter was given illegally 1.72 lakhs by the CMRL without giving
1.72 crores.
1.72 crores without giving any services to the CMRL. And that came out clearly, black and white in the judgment. On the other hand, it had clearly stated that a few political leaders belonging to the left and the right had taken cash. All the details the judgment had stated was there with the income tax. And one most important abbreviation in that list was PV. And everybody knows that it is PV. But unfortunately, the Chief Minister himself says that it was not PV. Now the situation in this case is that in the judgment of the Income Tax Settlement Board, there has been findings against the father and the daughter. Unlike in other cases, there were only allegations. For example, in gold smuggling case, there were only allegations. Life Mission
There was a finding of a quasi-judicial
body. Now, even though there has been a finding against the quasi-judicial body, you find that nothing serious has happened. The lady or her father, they were never questioned. They were not even given a few questions for them to answer. So this is the situation with regard to the cases. Now you look at what is happening in the North India. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren is in jail. As far as I understand, it was with regard to a case which originated in the year 2007. He has been in jail. He is the Chief Minister. Now look at Manish Sisodia, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of the Aam Aadmi Party government, has been languishing in jail for the last 1.5 years. And
and arrested on the basis of the
statements of the
two approvers.
Now he is in jail. Now in our adjacent state, Tamil Nadu, Senthil Balaji, who is a minister, who was dragged from his office and he has been in jail. And a number of other leaders have been in jail. P. Chidambaram, D.K. Shivakumar, many leaders have been in jail. Now when you compare the reasons for why these people were put in jail and compare it with what has happened with regard to Pinarayi Vijayan, you can find that on the other hand, when all these leaders were put in jail merely on statements of the accused, when you come to Kerala, you find that despite a quasi-judicial body coming out with clear findings against Pinarayi Vijayan and his daughter, none of the central agencies, let alone questioning him and putting him in jail, they have not even given him a few questions for him to answer during the last 4 years. So this connivance with the central agencies and Pinarayi Vijayan is very, very clear. Now that is very clear, but outwardly they say that we are fighting against Pinarayi Vijayan. This is all humbug and gimmick. On the other hand, the opposition, which is duty bound to raise this issue, has been keeping completely quiet and has been fighting against each other. We have been watching with great humor how the KPCC president had been
Opposition leader.
what sort of filthy words he used in public against the opposition leader. And some time back, after a historic win in a by-election, we had seen how they behave with each other. And they had conducted a jata called the Samarakni. It has been a damn squib. We know. Now, lately, there has been this issue with regard to a brutal torture and murder of a veterinary college student called Siddharth. Now, as we all know, he was brutally tortured in front of more than 100 students, and I feel that he was murdered. Looking at the postmortem report, it becomes clear that he was murdered. Now, even on that issue, the opposition totally failed in mobilizing people and fighting against the government. Now, on the one hand, you find that the central government and the BJP has been conniving with Pinarayi Vijayan. On the other hand, you find that the opposition has drastically failed in mobilizing people. Now, one important issue which I will be highlighting in Alleppey is this mining, mineral mining, which has been taking place in Thottapalli in Alleppey. We all know that each and every party has taken huge amount of bribe from the owner of this company called CMR. But none of the political parties are raising this issue because of the fact that they are all part and parcel in taking bribe from this person. So I will be highlighting these two major issues in Alleppey election. Number one is the connivance of the central government with the state government led by Pinarayi Vijayan, number one. Number two is that the drastic failure of the opposition to take up the real cause of the people. So I would like to state that what I will be putting before the people will be a viable alternative. Now, see, Radish, there are contest is taking place in 20 constituencies. Because of my decision to contest from Alleppey, the people in Alleppey have a chance to vote for an alternative. An alternative is being put forward before the people in the form of my candidature. So I feel that the people in Alleppey will rally behind my candidature because I am putting before them a real third alternative for the people to pursue in future.
See, while you are speaking about the happenings of Kerala and the unholy partnership of these parties called Congress, CPM, Congress, BJP and all other parties, I can understood pretty clearly. But one thing is, one thing I would like to ask you, basically this kind of hopes and prevailing this kind of alternatives were happened in Kerala earlier also. Once Aam Aadmi Party came to Kerala, while I was remembering pretty clearly, one Miss Anita Pradap, she was contesting from the Ernakulam constituency, and she had polled more than around 50,000 votes in that election. And even in that last time, the 2021 election, the 8 constituencies, 8 state legislative constituencies, the 2020 were contested, and 14.5% votes they were captured. So this was happening only once, but they were not, these kind of parties were not able to keep that promises, and long term they won't be able to provide that strike for this public, and they won't be able to fight for the public for a prevailing for this for any year's time. So let me ask you one question, because what is your idea regarding this contest? You are contesting only for Alleppey for this time, and after that you will be out of the picture, or whether you are winning or failure, that's a secondary issue. Whether you will be out out of the picture, or you will be prevailing for the next years, or will you be continuing this as a political change in Kerala? What we are expecting? Because basically contesting in a Lok Sabha constituency, that won't make any changes even in India and Kerala.
See, Rajesh, as you have rightly pointed out, there has been initiatives in Kerala.
Earlier,
That is the one thing which came out from what you said. In 2014, a few people had contested, not only from Ernakulam, from adjacent adjacent.
I just told you only one example.
Now, it was out of the inspiration which the Aam Aadmi Party got after their government came to power in 2013, that they contested for the 2014 elections. Like what you have rightly pointed out, this lady called Anita Pratap, who couldn't even speak in Malayalam. She contested from Ernakulam, she polled 50,000. And there was another literary person called Sarah Joseph, who contested from Trichur, had polled 40,000 votes.
She was leading the Aam Aadmi Party in Kerala.
At that point of time. And there was one another person who had contested from Chalakudy constituency, had polled 44,000 votes. So, new faces garnering more votes in Kerala, there is a precedent. It is not for the first time that it might or might not happen in my case. Number one. Number two is what you rightly pointed out in 2021 elections in Ernakulam district, around 8 constituencies, this 2020 party, who I am told got only nearly 20 days to campaign, had polled 14.5% of votes. Now, through that experience, it becomes quite clear that there has been precedence in Kerala with regard to new faces polling more votes. Now, that is number one. Number two is this situation which has been created in Alleppey as a result of my contest. I would like to tell you very clearly that my contest is part of a search, part of a long time search in favor of an alternative which would suit the interests of the people in the long run. So I would like to tell you specifically that this is not a one-time contest which I am going to undertake. My contest to begin with will begin in my contest with Alleppey. Now, what I am comprehending is to take up this fight till 2026 through 2025. Because 2024 there will be this contest to the Lok Sabha. 2025 August there will be contest to the local bodies, and 2026 May there will be contest to the assembly. So I have a clear plan with me, or the platform called the Save Kerala Forum, which had told me to contest from Alleppey constituency. They have a clear cut plan in their mind. That plan will not start and end with my contest to the Lok Sabha in Alleppey. It will continue with fighting probably maybe to all the local bodies in Kerala in 2024, and will probably end with contesting in probably all the seats in Kerala in 2026 assembly elections. So this is the plan which the platform which had assigned me to contest from Alleppey have in their mind. So this is the first step towards achieving the goal of bringing out a kind of unrelenting, uncompromising political system in Kerala in the year 2026. Now, lastly, I would like to share with you a point regarding why I had selected Alleppey to contest from this election. Because many people have been asking me. Now there are 20 constituencies, out of which Alleppey is one. Now there are a few reasons why I have selected Alleppey. The number one reason I have selected Alleppey is that Alleppey is the district where from where the Communist Party was born. Not only the CPM, the CPI was born in Alleppey. When you think about stalwarts of the Communist Party, you will have to think about V.S. Achuthanandan, R. Sugadan, P. K. Chandranandan, T.V. Thomas, K.R. Gauri. Most of the P. Krishnapilla, his name I should have said in the beginning. All of them emerged from Alleppey. And Alleppey was the district from where the real Communist Party emerged, number one. Number two is that unfortunately the Alleppey is the district now we have the most rotten and degenerated Communist Party at the present juncture. I don't want to give examples. There have been a lot of examples. Now it has been the most rotten Communist Party in the state, and we know that stalwarts like G. Sudhakaran from Alleppey district have been totally sidelined, and the party is being led by a so-called political criminals, which G. Sudhakaran had indirectly mentioned. I don't want to mention the name of those leaders. So number one is that the party emerged in Alleppey. Number two is that the party, it is a rotten party in Alleppey, which we can see now. Thirdly, I claim myself as the person who has been very close to the legend called V.S. Achuthanandan. I treat myself as the most important disciple of V.S. Achuthanandan. And basically all my family strength also comes from Alleppey. And last but not the least, what I would like to tell you is that I have been fighting against ills in not only the CPM. I have been fighting against ills in the CPM. I have been fighting against ills in the Congress party, and I have been fighting against ills even in the BJP. Now, the situation which is prevailing in Kerala, I feel, is a polarization between the rank and file and the leadership in all the parties. And I treat myself as a denominator. I treat myself as with the denominator of all the major political parties. So I feel that I will be able to garner votes from all well-minded people belonging to different political parties. And lastly, I would like to tell you that I am taking this fight extremely very seriously, and the response which I am getting from different political parties has been extremely encouraging, and I will be moving to Alleppey in the next couple of days.
See, one thing I wanted to make it clear. Basically, you are saying that this has just begun. This is just a beginning, and the fight will be there till the end of 2026 to get a change from the ruling party and all. So, what's your plan regarding this? Because it's not an easy task. While we were, I'm not disappointing you, but let me remind you something. Because we are going to fight against all the evils of a party and all the evils of a smugglers, and definitely the encroachers of environments, and everything is going to happen. That definitely there will be some life threats also will be there. So we know an example of T.P. Chandrasekharan, who was fighting against the CPM from the constituency called Vadakara. What happened to him? Because he was murdered brutally with more than 90 plus wounds in his body itself. So I don't want to remind you that thing, but let me ask you, because what is your hope in this? Because if you want to go for a systemic change in Kerala, all the public will come to you. It's pretty difficult because there there are 35-40% odds for UDF and again 40% odds for LDF. Even in the Alapi district, there is only 15-20% odds for BJP and all. So out of this, without a party, how can you win the game, or how can you win this battle, if I am saying that 2026? What is your hope and what is your preparation for all those things?
Radish, to begin with, I fully agree with you that even there is a possibility that my life is also under threat. I know that I have been fighting against all negative forces in the society. I have not been fighting, my fight has not been against the political parties, but my fight has also been against vested interests also. I have been fighting. So definitely there are problems. I know that I am playing in where angels fear to tread, I have stated. I know that. Even in 2014, I had police protection for 1 year. So I know that it is a very difficult, thorny path for me to take up. But the responses which I have been getting has been, I said in the beginning, extremely positive. I told you that I am part and parcel of a platform. I am not an individual. I am not going to contest from Alapi as an individual. I am going to contest from Alapi as part and parcel of a platform which has been unrelentingly and uncompromisingly fighting against all ills in the society for the last 5 to 6 months. And the response from the people has been very positive. So I will be taking up this fight as part of that platform, and through taking up this fight, I feel that the platform on which I am standing, called the Save Kerala Forum, it will get broadened, deepened and widened. I feel that after my contest in Alapi, nobody knows what would happen, because it is a contest. There can be win or no win. But I can for sure tell you that the platform on which the part of the platform to which I am a part will grow. After this election, it will again, I said, get deepened, because we will be trying to bring all the small and big organizations which have been fighting against government under an umbrella of the Save Kerala Forum. So the Save Kerala Forum will be inching towards transforming itself into a new political entity, which maybe in 1 or 2 years will be able to, which I hope would be able to transform itself into a new political entity, which will be able to fight for a new Kerala. That is my feel.
Okay, what is your, I'm saying that because your hope is not practical, because your hope is practically it is possible, because in some other states in India we have seen that all of a sudden some parties may disappear and new parties may come up. So these things are happening even in the, I'm not saying it in an international level also, because in most of the countries this kind of a new hopes has been coming up. But let me ask you one thing, because what about your contesting, while you are contesting in Alapi, what is your strength and weakness of your competitors like Arif and KC Venugopal and all? How do you rate them actually?
See,
whom do you think that because he is going to be the great competitor or the best nearest competitor for you?
See, Rajesh, you have raised two questions. One, I think I will spend a few minutes. See, we saw Aam Aadmi Party coming to power in 2013 in Delhi. Till 2013, we had not heard about Arvind Kejriwal. We had heard only about Anna Hazare. But after 2013, you find that he becomes the Chief Minister of Kerala, Delhi, 2 times. Now he is the Chief Minister of Delhi for the 3rd time.
With a great majority.
With a great majority. Now, see, I would like to remind you that in Delhi, either Congress or the BJP had been ruling for the last nearly 60 years. And he is now a broad majority in Delhi. Now you go to Punjab. Punjab has 7.5 crores of population. has been ruled by the Shiromani Akali Dal and the Congress for the last 70 years.
70 years.
And you have a comedian, the chief minister in Delhi. He came to active politics also in only 1 or 2 years back. And in Mizoram, you have a chief minister who was an officer, IFS or an IPS. You even go to Telangana. Telangana Congress came to power, but came with a new face. New face. So there are incidents in the whole of the country. People opting for new candidates. Now, Rajesh, what I would like to offer to the people of Alleppey is a change. They have been either experimenting with a left candidate or a right candidate or a left or a right candidate for the last 20-30 years. I am presenting before them as a new face. And my credentials are before them, for them to decide in favor of me or against me. Because for the last 20-25 years, I have been in politics, presenting me before the people every day, fighting against some ills in this society. So there is a possibility that there could be a change. There can be a change. And I am placing before the people as a new face, number one. Number two is the second question you asked is, how do I rate myself with the other candidates? Now, I tell you, Rajesh, I am very proud that I am ahead of the other candidates with regard to my communist background, with regard to my commitment towards cause, with regard to my perseverance, with regard to my unrelenting and uncompromising attitude towards issues. Number one. Number two. Number three is that you have a CPM candidate called A.M. Arif. We have seen how he has been presenting matters in the Lok Sabha. His first speech was looking at the mobile phone. Even looking at the mobile phone and reading, he has been making mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Now, Congress, you have a so-called national leader. But we have seen that national leader also trying to grapple with words in English while giving press conferences in New Delhi. And unfortunately, you have a BJP candidate who also cannot who cannot speak in English. I have never seen her speaking in English. I don't know whether she knows speaking English or not, but I have never seen. And educational qualification wise also, I feel I am a little above the other three candidates, because I have a master's degree in science, I have a master's degree in economics and a degree in law, all in first class. Now, so I feel that to begin with, I have a definite advantage or edge in Alleppey. I will be fighting, or I will be putting out an all-out fight in Alleppey constituency. As I said in the beginning, I will be moving to Alleppey, and let us see what would happen. But I tell you that I am very optimistic in undertaking this fight in Alleppey.
See, while we were observing with the other countries and all the elections and all, I was amazed that in the US, we know that the racism is there in the mind of the people. Even if they are saying that they are developed so much, but that racism is there. But Barack Hussein Obama was elected in that time only because of that, because there was an economic recession and there was a big problems which the country was facing. So wherever the countries are facing this kind of troubles, the people will people won't think about their caste, religion and race and all. They will be unitedly, they will be able to select some good people in the world itself. This is what happening. Even in the 2018, the flood was happening happening, the same thing was happened because there was no caste, there was no thing. But in Kerala and India, the elections were happening. We know that this kind of a approach and this kind of a casteism and their leaders, they are getting some prominence, they are getting a vote share and all those things. So what is your take on that? Will you approach them to get the votes, or will you go to the public to directly to get the votes? And what is your hope in that actually? Basically, that kind of a corruption, that kind of a degenerated community, that kind of a deteriorated parties, everything was happening, and definitely they will look for a savior, and that will be you. That is that the hope which is prevailing you? Right?
Ritesh, it's a very pertinent, I think this should be the last question. It's a very pertinent question which you have raised.
Definitely it's the last question.
It's a very important question which you have raised. See, we have been witnessing during the last 2-3 elections. 2-3 elections in the sense I wouldn't include 2006 in that compartment because I have to say something else. Now 2011, 2016, 2021, these 3 elections, the major thrust of all the political parties have not been on political issues. Maybe in 2021, COVID, etc. was there. But basically, you look at all the 3 fronts, you can find that all the 3 fronts, without concentrating on real political issues, you find that they kind of concentrate on communal issues. How many Muslim votes this front gets, how many Christian votes, how many Hindu votes, Nair votes, this votes, that votes, Irava votes. In the sense, you find that the fronts try to compartmentalize their support based on communal factors. You find that even a KPCC president, publicly speaking, that this is the community which has prominence in Kannur, so we are trying to field this man. There is another person who has good support among the Orthodox. So there is this trend of the major political parties to gather votes communally without raising political issues. Now I would like to unambiguously say that I will be trying to replicate what V.S. Achuthanandan did in 2006. In 2006 also this communal polarization was there, communal leaders was there, Vellapalli Nadeshan was there, Sumaran Nair was there, Kandapuram was there, all these communal elements were there. But in 2006, V.S. Achuthanandan succeeded in putting political issues above communal issues. That is how, I hope you remember, it was the first time when this Muslim League stalwarts P.K. Kunjalikutti and M.K. Munir got defeated in Malappuram. It is basically because of the fact that V.S. Achuthanandan succeeded in putting political issues above communal issues. This is the same method I am trying to replicate in Alleppey this time. I will be trying maximum to put political issues, political problems in front of the people, and ask people belonging to all communities and castes to vote based on political issues than kind of succumbing towards religion and caste. This is the approach I would be taking in this election.
Irrespective of all the caste and the race and all other considerations, because the common public's problems are same, and even the poverty and the poor person's problems are same in each and every society. So let us hope for the best, and the public may select you, and definitely wish you the best.